So, we take a little pause.
Right, hold on. Oh, sorry.
And I have to take a little pause, right, before I say hi? Okay, cool. And I'll sit up straight.
Andrew?
Hey, I'm Lindsay Parker. Welcome to Yahoo Entertainment. We are very excited today. We have international pop sensation and fashion icon, Tiffany Young. Yes, you are. I think you've earned it.
Hi, Yahoo Entertainment. Hi, Lindsay. Thank you for having me and that wonderful introduction.
Well, thank you for coming. You've had obviously a super busy week. You got a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about, and we will be taking your fans' questions. So fans, if you're watching live, start submitting your questions now, and I'll be taking some of them towards the end of this chat. But I guess the first place to start is you have a new song called Teach You.
Yes.
And a very eyebrow-raising video for it.
My eyebrows raised with that, with you talking about it. Yes, that's a good term.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely getting a lot of
Thank you.
attention. Can you sort of just tell the story? It's a very, I would say, a feminist song or a
Oh,
badass
it's
song.
A badass song. Teach You is for all the devious men out there that they should treat their woman right. And just from my experience from a relationship gone wrong and that I react badly to heartbreak, but it's okay because I got a great song and a cool music video. The music video was the fun part. I teamed up with one of my favorite directors in K-pop. His aesthetic. He's a genius, and he asked me what I wanted to do, and I talked about all the things I love, and he said, "You know what? Maybe we should just create this Korean drama film aesthetic that you love." And that was such an amazing audience, especially with teaming up with H&M, that it's going to reach a global audience. I'm so happy with it, and I'm so happy that the fans are happy with it.
I think they are. How many views has it gotten so far? Do you know?
I think we're at like 3-point-something
Million.
million. Yes.
Awesome. Well, you sort of answered my question, but I was going to ask if the song and/or video were autobiographical. Can you tell me a little bit more about the story behind the song?
I mean, I don't write things right when it's happening. I'm somebody that processes and realizes I'm okay, and then I'm okay to talk about things or write about things. And the song obviously in a nutshell is a story about being burned and that you're never going to burn me again, but also looking deeper into it and seeing the fact that I am very vulnerable. I'm fragile. I get hurt, and I tend to give all of me. And it's about being human.
Do you know if the person who you wrote this about has seen the video or heard the song?
I mean, there were multiple. It wasn't just like one relationship. It was just like lots of different things and experiences. And also I had a group of friends riding with me, lots of girlfriends. So we got very, very imaginative and we went into the core of like our boiling emotions more than like specific.
You didn't have like the voodoo dolls out?
No, I won't go that far right now.
So you mentioned you wrote this with a couple friends. You collaborated with some of your former Girls' Generation members.
Yes, I had my we are Girls' Generation still.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's okay.
I felt like I thought you were sort of like kind of on hiatus now. Am I wrong?
We are on a temporary break, but we're just with music. We're part of each other's lives every single day. So and there's a lot of confusion with that. Be nice, fans, because people get confused, and I'm here to clear that up.
I obviously got confused.
Yeah, that's fine.
Will there be music from them, or do you think it's just more like state of mind now?
Absolutely.
From you guys together?
Yeah, we're always taking this, like, let's do our solo stuff because we've been together for 10 years.
Which is crazy.
So thank you. I said thank you to being crazy. Yeah,
crazy in a good way.
I felt
you
it.
lasted, this longevity.
There's a trust there, and that we've had those times and years where we were together and we were apart, and being apart actually inspires us to kind of focus and really dig deeper into what it is we want to form our message into. So this is a great time. We're having a blast. Our chat room is blowing up. I bet their chat room is blowing up like early in the morning because I'm on time zones, and they're blowing up my phones because there's all the other girls talking about different projects. It's exciting. It's exciting that we're all doing our thing, and well, Girls' Generation forever.
I'm sure there are a lot of people watching this who already know the story, but for people who are just getting wise now, how did you were born in America and raised in America most of your life, right?
California.
Yeah, so was I. Los Angeles?
No, San Francisco, but grew up most of the time in LA, so I feel like an LA girl.
We're fellow California
Yes.
and LA girls.
Californians.
So it's an interesting story how you ended up overseas and ended up in, a huge K-pop band. How did that come about?
I was heavily inspired by the 90s and early 2000s genre, and it's just everything about it, but especially music. And that included girl bands and female pop divas from pop and K-pop. And at the time, I was lucky enough to be scouted here.
Oh.
And I ended up thinking that it was fate and destiny, and I packed up my bags and left to Korea at 15 in 3 weeks.
And I understand your father wasn't thrilled
Yeah,
about that.
I think about it now. Would you, if you exactly, would you believe your 15-year-old child and her screaming, "It's fate"? I wouldn't either. So thanks to all my family who supported my crazy idea, because it all went well. Thank God.
Tell me how the scouting came place, because there are some unsavory people out there. You have to be skeptical in this world. Like if I was 15 and someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, you want to move to another country or be in a group?" My parents probably wouldn't believe me when I came home and said it, right? Right?
And I had to give him the business card, and I mean, I saw the business card and the logo of SM Entertainment, who had Boa, who is like still my idol and like my favorite K-pop queen. And I was like, this is it. I love her and her music, and I want to be just like her. And you're right. I have to go straight to the source. And I told my parents, I was like, see, there's all these other people, but this has the logo on it. That was my convincing statement at 15. So, yeah, I'm glad I was.
And they let you go and pursue your dream.
They didn't really let me go. I just fought my way through it, but I'm glad I did.
So what was your first reaction when you got off the plane, when you were in a whole new world and you were so young?
It was November, and we live in California, so I was in a denim skirt and Ugg boots with no, like, I don't know, heat tech. There were no, I don't even know if there was heat tech at the time. But I got off and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so ridiculous. I was like, it's so cold.
I would have.
Yeah, I was like, why is it so cold? I was just young and naive and entering a new world. But I was excited. I was super excited to be one step closer to my dreams.
Were you prepared for so you were 15? Mm-hmm. Were you prepared, especially at such a young age and being far away from home and family, for the massiveness of Girls' Generation, like the whirlwind that you were thrown into?
At 15, saying you're going to be just like your role model and take over the world and things like that, it was just kind of a saying. But the career I was blessed to have, it's like one thing to start off and like have everybody say, you have this many number ones on in these many countries, and then from that to like 10 years. I think that decade celebration we marked last year, that milestone is definitely something I treasure and hold dearly in my heart. And I'm still proud. I'm still proud and excited for where I and the rest of my bandmates are gonna go.
So you were young, as I keep mentioning, and sometimes when people are thrown into pop stardom at a young age, there's child star syndrome.
Oh.
They go off the rails.
Yeah.
You did not. How did you keep, especially when you didn't necessarily have family around you, how did you stay grounded? Was it because you had all your girls around you, or what made you kind of not go off the deep end?
Leaving and trying to make sure you show your parents and everybody around you, your whole life of friends at the time, I took it very seriously, and I took it very responsibly, and of course I'm not perfect, and I was a child, so I would probably not have been the best, but the only thing I did, like, I was focused on was being responsible and having all my hours in, because it really is about the practice and the craftsmanship to what goes into it. And at the time, I'm lucky that I was studying music earlier when I was here. And for me, I was like, okay, you want to perform a certain way, you're gonna have to it demands those hours and all of you. And for me, nothing mattered more than being able to do music. So yeah, I'd want to be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but 10 consecutive years. So yeah, music has kept me in a good place.
Obviously. And speaking of in a good place, K-pop is bigger internationally it's ever been. It's really finally in the last year or two broken through in America in a way we've never seen before. BTS obviously leading the charge with being on like regular,
everything.
major network award shows here. What do you have any theories as to like why now is the time that it's finally getting a lot of attention over here in America?
I mean, I've loved K-pop since the early 2000s, and it's forever growing. I'm so proud to be a part of it. I think that it's growing and evolving with the technology as well, and like all the amazing platforms that are having having the music reach the audience, a bigger audience. And I think it took some time because it definitely takes time to balance 12-hour, 14-hour flights to fly from here to there. And I remember one year we premiered our song, and we did the 4 music shows in Korea: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Flew straight to New York, got in, did press, went to, I don't know if it was David Letterman or a show, and then got back on the plane and then did another round of music shows. Like that was what promo was like, and we were all navigating. And now I think everybody's just kind of feeling a lot more, I guess everybody's getting to know everything a lot better and at a great pace. So
Do you feel you're in a unique position because you kind of have a foothold in both worlds? You were born and raised in America. You spent a lot of time in Korea. Like, do you have a better perspective on how to sort of navigate the U.S. side of the music business?
I am so blessed to have had the experience in Korea because I'm where I was. They are absolutely amazing, and my team here in the U.S. Embrace and just really respect what I know about what K-pop and what I did in K-pop. But also I came back and I felt like I knew nothing, and all I know is just how to work at it and be patient and work hard at it. So I feel like I'm in a good place where I've learned the K-pop. I can say I have a number of years in K-pop, and I have a good team to help me navigate through the U.S. now.
What's interesting to me is, like I was just mentioning, that K-pop is bigger than ever in the U.S. or is finally reaching a more mainstream audience in the U.S. But it seems to be more focused on boy bands or male artists. That's what I've observed.
I'm like, you could say that.
Yeah. So I wonder.
But there are some amazing female artists.
Would you like to recommend
girl
some for
bands.
people who are maybe a little newer to the genre?
There is a new solo female artist. She's my bandmate. She just released her solo single, Yuri. I recommend everybody to see her new music video. It's amazing. I love Red Velvet, also Blackpink, and Sunmi. She's another former girl band. If you know the Wonder Girls, she's from the Wonder Girls, and she's doing her solo project, and it's absolutely amazing. So I mean, I love all the male artists, but yeah, I love watching the performances and the hair, the makeup, the glam, the routines. So go female artists.
Do you feel, I don't know if the word's obligation or responsibility, but do you feel like you want to represent, especially on this side of the world, strong female women in K-pop? Because you are one of the higher profile ones.
Oh,
You just got
thank
this
you.
big H&M campaign, which we're going to
Thank
talk
you.
about. Do you feel like an obligation, especially to impressionable young female fans, to be a voice?
Absolutely. I'm not perfect, but I hope that over time that I, like my career back in South Korea has been amazing. I've had help with some amazing friends. I do hope that it is what I do, my music, really shows that it's about growth and it's about constantly wanting to learn, and that there is beauty in every age, and being different and being you is what makes you beautiful, and it's not about a certain standard. I'm just so glad that it is about representation and diversity, and I'm glad that I can say that, like, being different is amazing.
I'm going to do this.
Oh, thank you.
And the reason I was looking down my phone is I'm going to take a break to
Okay.
take a couple questions from your fans. Kelly wants to know, having a child who likes K-pop, I appreciate you talking about dedication and responsibilities. How did you continue education as well? I assume she means when you were young and starting in the business. How did you do education and Girls' Generation at the same
That
time?
was my one kind of deal I made with my parent at the time. He's like, "You're gonna finish high school," and I was like, "I am." And he's like, "How are you going to finish high school when you have language lessons, dance lessons, vocal lessons, and your brain is already there?" And I was like, "Well, it's not much different from extracurricular or band or dance and I made sure that you have. I think if you love something so much and you prioritize it, but also take on the responsibility of all the other things that come with it, I made sure I did all my homework first, and then really dedicate and pour myself out when I had everything done. Because if you don't do the things that you need to, they stay and they linger in the back of your head. So thank you to you and your amazing, beautiful children that who love K-pop.
Yes.
It's about loving something so much that you will take responsibility of everything that comes with it.
Matilda wants to know, and please keep your questions coming, what made Teach You feel like the right song to release right now? It's a good question.
It is the second single. It is that September-October timeframe where I like to, I like the whole, I'm a huge Tim Burton fan too, so I like the spooky, fun, darker, edgier things. And Teach You was kind of, it's in that fun world. I was talking about that with my director as well. I love Tim Burton stuff, and just the song and what it sounds like. I definitely wanted it to be unexpected. I wanted the second song to be unexpected. I think after Over My Skin, everyone and the fans were like, okay, she's heading towards this early 2000s, big vocals and bands and having that type of sound. But I flipped it, and this one's a lot more chill. It's a lot more calm compared to the other one vocally, actually.
Did Over My Skin get a little bit of, I don't know if the word is flack, but some people were kind of surprised by it because it was of its maturity,
Yeah.
shall we say?
Absolutely. But I'm glad that I still have that. It's nice to be able to surprise my fans at year 11. Yeah, and I think I wanted to think further into it's not me just putting out another album. It's a brand new chapter where I am storytelling and introducing myself to a new world. And I also want to make my bandmates and my fans proud. So I definitely went into kind of owning what I want to talk about, and also sonically, I'm always focusing on wanting to bring what I love about K-pop and pop together. I hope that's what my sound is.
Well, speaking of future music, MB wants to know, can we expect a new song before the end of the year?
I mean, I have a lot of music recorded and written, and I've been pretty spontaneous, so we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Latif wants to know, do you have plans for a tour or concert?
Yes, I'm currently on my Asia fan meeting tour. I'm going to Hong Kong next month, but the dates are gonna be coming, and I promised that I would have my EP out early next year. So I'm planning for a tour both here in the U.S. and in Asia.
Tiffany wants to know, any plan to visit Korea soon?
Yes, I've been going secretly for production. I didn't want anybody to see me. I was like hiding, but I was in Korea last week for the H&M event openly, and it was just so fun to be able to like run around and not worry about like pretending to be like quiet and like not in Korea.
Did anyone recognize you, or were you successful in your incognito?
Nobody recognized me, but I went shopping with my bandmate, and they were like, oh, "Can we have a signature from both of you?" And we didn't think much about it, so we signed it together, and that came up online. They're like, "Wait, why is Soo-young and Tiffany together?" So everyone's like, "Is she in Korea?" But luckily, I got them to take it down. So.
Nanza wants to know: is it possible all the girls will come back as girls' generation for the next year?
I would love to. I mean, I was with a couple of my bandmates a couple weeks ago when I was in Korea, and we were talking about it. We're always talking about it. We just want to know when the right time frame is because, you know, some of my bandmates are in movie productions and film and dramas, and we're finding the time that we can like block out a space of time because when we go in for promo, I'm always like, let's do everything. Let's go to, I don't know, let's do a reality show. Let's do albums. Let's do fashion shows. Like I'm all about, I don't know, creating memories with not just only between us, but with the fans. So I am on it.
How? This isn't really a question, but it's a comment I'll read. It says, Tichu is the best with 3 exclamation points.
Thank you. 3 exclamation points. Exclamation point, exclamation
Big
point.
fan. Huang wants to know, do you want to make a Latin song? Which is an interesting question.
I would love to. I mean, I love it, and I've been asked this question, and I got all excited already. If I had the chance to, I would love to.
That actually, I'll piggyback onto that question. We've seen a lot of collaborations of obviously really high-profile ones with BTS, with the Chainsmokers and Nicki Minaj. Like, who are your dream collaborators you'd love to work with? In any genre.
I'm still a new artist here, so I've been listening to a lot of new artists, and at the moment I am a huge fan of Laov's work.
Yeah.
I sang his song for my show the other week as a cover, and I'm a huge fan of Kim Petras. I love her.
I know Kim Petras.
I love her. I love her work. I love her music videos, her fashion, and I'm open to working with lots of new artists and bringing different worlds together or creating a new world. So. Yes.
That'd be amazing. Well, speaking of fashion, we do need to talk about this H&M fashion campaign. So tell me a little bit about that. I know you did a big event here in LA. Was it yesterday or the day before?
It all seems like one day.
At the Sunset
Yes.
Boulevard location.
I'm happy to share that I am the Fall Winter H&M Divided Music Campaign ambassador, and it's about H&M supporting new artists early on in their journey, and luckily I had an amazing relationship with H&M Korea as well, and we brought it all together, and the headquarters, and everybody has just been so supportive of my new music, and they've heard some other music too, and they're just like, we're so excited, and I'm just so happy that I got to launch it in Seoul, and then also have another live show at this store on Hollywood and Sunset. That's a dream. So I hope everybody enjoys the campaign and the song that came with it.
I want to make sure I get this correct. Is it true that you're the first Asian American to be part of an H&M campaign?
Yes, as the U.S. global ambassador, yes.
How does it feel to be representing that way? You know, obviously, I find it kind of surprising that it hasn't happened sooner, to be honest.
I know. Luckily, it's an amazing time. I've been so inspired by all the amazing Asian talent, artists, writers, directors, all of the above, and representation is so important, as I mentioned before. And I mean, growing up, I didn't get to see, it wasn't too common, and now, especially as like an Asian American musician, starting out. But I'm pretty sure some of the kids are like, wait, isn't that? But yes, I'm proud to even be a part of something so amazing, and I hope it inspires lots of young, new fans and everybody.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you have any stories about people who have reached out to you saying they are inspired by this?
I had the event the other day, and my fans, I was so overwhelmed with what their words, that just everything about that night. It was so surreal. They're like, I've been a fan for 11 years, and to see you here in LA. I flew from New York, or I flew from Boston or Wyoming, and I'm speechless. It was just an amazing feeling, and that I will continuously give you all of me and the best I can of me.
Do you feel the tides are turning culturally, not just with the fact that K-pop is making inroads in the U.S. like never before, but also like campaigns like this H&M campaign that are more diverse and
Absolutely, I think absolutely in the fashion world, in music, it's just an amazing time. It's a beautiful time, and I'm just happy to be a part of it and be here right now.
Great. Well, we have a few more questions from your fans. Verily wants to know, it's related to LA, I guess. She says, I want to know about your acting school in Hollywood. You have an acting school in Hollywood?
It's actually in Burbank, but
If you're not, it's adjacent.
yeah, it's close. I went last year. I started last fall, and the moment it was summer break, I was like, I think I want to get some music out. So I'm taking it as it goes, and school started in September, and I talked to my coach, and he's just like, don't worry about it. Second year just started. Go second years. But he's just like, whoever told you that you can only do one, like it all comes together. Your music helps your acting, and your acting I was like, my acting has definitely changed my perspective in my writing. I'm just so glad it's amplified everything. I would like to go back to school, but
You're pretty busy.
yeah, and I feel so supported by my team here and my coach, that he's just like, yeah, let's talk. Just don't let go of the training you had for that year, for the foundations. So
There's a couple more acting related questions from your fans. Michelle wants to know, what kind of movies do you audition for? Have you gone on auditions?
yes, I have audition
lately,
seasons. Yeah, earlier this year in the spring. I don't want to say anything specifically, but there was a film project, and there were a couple TV shows that I went on, and I'm gonna continuously go on because it's audition season will be around the corner again. Hope I'm not too rusty, but. Yeah, those are some of the projects I've auditioned for, but I don't want to name anything, especially because, hey, there are NDAs attached to it, my friend.
Well, Ilona wants to, it's sort of related, but what are your future plans for acting? So I'll piggyback onto that question. Like, what would be your dream role or acting experience?
My dream role, I've said it so many times. I'm a huge Baz Luhrmann fan. Is Satine from Moulin Rouge. Or it has acting and singing and glamour all in the same place. But really kind of going to school and getting my hours, and I don't have my 10,000 hours yet, and getting to really study it. I've come to the conclusion that I don't care. I'm not picky. It's about the truth of the story or the character, and that if it inspires and educates and brings light to a certain topic that's not talked about, or is kind of, I want to be an artist, not only in music but in film, that opens both the heart and the mind.
Are there any causes, charities, organizations that are important to you that you want to talk about here, or anything like that?
No, I'm actually starting to think more into that, and would love to really go more into it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you have obviously such a huge voice that any
Thank you.
cause you associate with would, get attention. So I feel a good question to wrap this up with is from our our fan. I was about to say friend. She is a friend.
Friend.
Stephanie. Do you have any advice for future aspiring artists, singers, dancers, etc.? You've obviously been in this business for almost half your life.
Yes.
Or more than half your life? Going on.
Oh wait, yeah, half my
More.
life now.
Yeah, crazy.
Exactly half my
and
life.
you've seen it from different sides of the world. You've seen it as a member of a group. You've seen it as a solo artist. What you have a lot to offer, advice-wise.
Thank you.
So what would you say?
I think the most important thing my coach said last year was first time, every time, last time. Do everything, whether that's practice or every single thing you do for your craft, like it is the first time, the last time, and every time. And each moment is a moment, so don't ever take it for granted. And that don't forget, it is those hours that make a master. So it's about really, really digging into your craft and going that extra mile because there's no trick. Nobody's a special snowflake. It is really, really grabbing onto what's important to you. And yeah, if you love it that much, nothing else matters.
That is excellent advice.
Thank you.
So much for this chat, and congratulations on
Thank
all your success and for Teach You coming out the H&M. I got to go to H&M.
Yes, there's some
Awesome,
amazing.
that's
That store had some amazing pieces.
I'm going to head over there soon. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate your questions.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Yahoo.